All right, let's break this down real quick. In the Bible, two riders show up on white horses, but they're not the same. First, in Revelation 6 verse 2, there's someone on a white horse with a bow and a crown. At first, it might look like Jesus, but it's not. This rider's goal is to deceive and conquer. Many people believe this is the Antichrist, someone who pretends to bring peace but actually leads people away from God. Then in Revelation chapter 19 verses 11 to 12, Jesus shows up riding a white horse. Big difference here. Jesus is called faithful and true. No tricks, no lies. He comes to bring justice and fight evil. He's wearing many crowns, showing he's the real King of Kings. And his eyes are like fire. He sees everything and has all the power. So here's the point. The first rider is fake, a deceiver. Jesus is the real deal, coming back with true power and victory. The devil loves to copy, but there's only one true king. Don't get fooled. Know the difference. Jesus wins in the end. Have you ever thought about why water was there first in Genesis? Like before anything else, the Bible says in Genesis 1 verse 2, "The earth was formless and empty, darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters." Water existed before light, land, or even life itself. Why? Here's the thing. Water isn't just about physical life, it's also deeply spiritual. Fast forward to when Jesus was on the cross. In John 19 verse 34 it says, "One of the soldiers pierced his side with the spear, and immediately blood and water came out." That wasn't just random. The blood represents forgiveness, and the water? It's cleansing and renewal. Jesus gave everything so we could have new life, spiritually and physically. Now check this out. 1 John 5 verse 8 says, "The Spirit, the water, and the blood, and these three agree." From the very beginning, water had a purpose. It's a symbol of life, cleansing, and God's Spirit working in us. Even in creation, water was already a sign of what God would do later through Jesus. So water wasn't just some random part of creation. It's connected to God's bigger plan, bringing life, cleansing, and making all things new. If God put that much thought into water, imagine how much He's invested in you. Remember this? Just like the water in Genesis and at the cross, God's work in your life is intentional. Don't miss the bigger picture. Let's talk about fasting and praying, especially in times like this. A lot of Christians know about fasting, but many miss the second part, prayer. It's not just fasting, it's fasting and prayer. You can't leave prayer out. Let me show you why, straight from the Bible. The first verse is Matthew 17 verse 21. Jesus said, "However, this kind does not go out except by prayer and fasting." Here's what happened. Jesus' disciples tried to cast out a demon, but they couldn't. They were confused, like, why didn't it work? Jesus told them some battles, some challenges, can only be won through prayer and fasting. Not just fasting, not just prayer. You need both. Fasting is like putting your spirit on high alert, but prayer is what connects you to God's power. Without prayer, fasting is just starving yourself. You're not tapping into God's strength. Now the second verse is Ezra 8 verse 23. "So we fasted and petitioned our God about this, and He answered our prayer." Ezra and the Israelites were facing a big challenge. They needed protection for their journey. They didn't just fast and hope for the best. They fasted and prayed, asking God for help. And guess what? God answered. So why is this important? When you fast without praying, you're missing the point. Fasting humbles you, but prayer invites God into the situation. Prayer is where the power is. If you're fasting this season, don't just skip meals. Use that time to pray. Talk to God, ask for guidance, thank Him, and bring your needs before Him. It's the combination of fasting and prayer that makes a difference. So don't just fast. Fast and pray. That's where the breakthrough happens.